Hey guys, and welcome back to Riverview Farm on FS22. This is episode 2, and as you can see we've got some work to do. I've currently set our John Deere 6250R out ploughing field 11, and we're going to also, hang on, if I can, there we go, we're going to set, we have some new gear. As you can see, we're kind of breaking immersion a little bit and parked in a hedge. I bought field number 14. This field has potatoes in it. This field does. And once they're harvested, we will collect. Once they are ready to grow, we will collect on these potatoes. We will. I personally will be interested to see how we do. We have our, as you can see, we have a new Tatra Phoenix 6x6 Agro Truck ZF and a new Lizard Logistics TLX tipper trailer. We do. Let's park this in a appropriate way, and the same with, and we have our John Deere 8R410. I bought a few upgrades off camera just so to help with some work, and as you can see it's now 3:28 PM. I've done some work off camera, not much. The potatoes are growing still. They are in the 4th stage of growth, I believe. Oh no, they're in the final stage of growth, ready to harvest. We have 8 stages of growth. They are currently in growth stage 8 from the look of it, ready to harvest. And as soon as they're ready, we will harvest them. We need to look at, see where they are sellable. Potatoes, right there. So Moondog's Farmers Market for £455 per tonne, and Stu's Farm Shop for £442 per tonne. Okay. So it's not going to bring in a ton of money. It's going to bring in, let's see, is there a comparison? Let's check sugar beet. It's going to bring in half the amount of wheat and £100 more than sugar beet does. It's going to be roughly about sugar beef cut, similar amount to that, and a bit more than sugar cane as well. So, as you can see, we got field 11 ploughing. We need to plough fields 8 and 7 as well, which they'll do. And we can start by using our other... we have the 84R, and that's it. We need to get another tractor so we can start with the stone picking. I plan to buy a... do I buy another 6250R because they are quite versatile tractors, or do I buy a 7R? We'll buy a 7R, we will, because a 7R is pretty good. If we go to 7350R, so it gets us 388 horsepower, and it puts us halfway between the 8410R and the 6250R. That gives us 41,000. Oh, it's 289,000. We don't have enough currently. Okay, so we will buy one of those later on. Let's buy another 6250R for the time being. Because they are only 233,000 wide tyres and weights there, and make that 6250, and it's only 246,000, which will leave us with just under 30,000. Let's change that license plate, or just flick through. That one will do. And yeah, so this will just be a normal one, just to pull the stone picker, and we will get a special trailer. The trailer I plan to get is, I don't know if you remember the IT runner from 2015. It's basically like that. It is all the way back here, this one. If I buy this Roland Turbo Classic container, 7,500 with 36 cubic meters, so it holds 36 ton, and we get it with this. This holds 300 horsepower, so you need 300 horsepower to pull it. We can pull this down to the field, lower the bucket onto next to the field, and then we can empty the trailer. But we need 80,000. So what we're going to do is instead of jumping forward and use it and getting more of the government subsidy, we're going to quickly grab our Tatra Phoenix and we are going to go sell some wheat because we have 57,000 litres of it. And that brings in, how much? Oh, actually, no, we could sell the canola, but that only brings in, we've only got 9,000 litres, we haven't really got much of that. So we'll bring in this will bring in more pounds per tonne. The highest is at Moondog Farmers Market, which we'll tag that place. Okay, so that's pretty far. We're going to break a bit of immersion right now. We're just going to drive on a field that we don't own, so it doesn't matter if it gets damaged. And we're going to make our way up to our silo to get our wheat, and then we shall go sell the wheat, and we'll should hopefully get enough money to buy that trailer. Thinking about it, really, I should have actually just bought the trailer first, moved it down there, and then I could have just moved it with the tractor afterwards. But I do want another tractor, because having 2 medium tractors and then having a large tractor as well does help with some jobs, especially because the large tractor will be more capable at pulling heavier machinery and larger equipment, whereas 2 smaller tractors are a lot more easier to get in tighter areas. So that's why I've chosen another 6250R. I will buy a 7R at some point. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I'll buy a 7R definitely, so we have one of each. And then we'll get 8RX, work all the way up, and even get the John Deere 9620RX. So we'll push R, and let's fill her up with wheat. This trailer holds a quite ridiculous amount of stuff. It holds about 250,000 litres. This is on full extension. This trailer was not cheap. It wasn't. But as you can see, I've colour coordinated it so it fits within the John Deere as well. Same with the truck. Looks lovely. And I've made it so therefore this trailer and truck pretty much go together. This truck does only do 42 miles an hour, but that is fast enough. In the next couple of episodes, I promise you, we will work on some silage. We're going to replant at the end of it. This episode, hopefully, we should be harvesting the potatoes. But I do plan to start replanting the fields that we've ploughed, rolling them and getting them to grow appropriately. We'll plant grass back in field 11 and 12, and then we'll plant the appropriate crop in all of the fields down here, which I believe will be canola. I'm kind of plan, once I've harvested field 14 and got the money, got the potatoes from it, depending on how well we do, will depend on if I'm going to sell the field afterwards. And I just got to look at the map so I can plan my route. Right, so I'm here and I need to go there. So I want to go left and follow the road all the way around there. Perfect. Well, it does look like there's an off-road route there, but I don't know how tight that's going to be. We'll stick to the road for now. We will. We'll stick to the road. Oh, we hit the car. Okay, so we'll take this left. Whoa, cutting through the hedge. Okay, broke the immersion. Sorry. Let's push 3. Get the cruise control going. I chose to have the truck as a manual because I quite like seeing the revs build up and then seeing it change up gear and watching all the revs change. Because you don't see that in the automatics, you just see it kind of just go up. Come on, you beautiful little truck. 462 horsepower. It's not the strongest, but it'll have the best grip. It's a 6x6, so it's a 6-wheel drive, not 4-wheel drive like most of the other trucks, or even 2-wheel drive. Whoa, and boom. Up and over the car. That shows you what can happen when you've got yourself an off-road truck. We're actually pretty close right now. Ooh, that's a big field. Well, it's not that big, but that was a big drop. And the field's actually pretty big, to be fair, to have grass on it. I would like to get a John Deere forage harvester. Reason why is because you can set those up with a special mower attachment, so it just mows and instantly fills up a trailer. And we can get a trailer on the back of it that takes 52,000 litres. So it means we should 52,000 litres of time in that silage pit. It should be pretty good amount. Okay, so let's see what 57,969 litres gets us. As in value. Okay, so we're up to 73,000. We got 48,150 pounds. Okay, so we're up to almost 74,000 pounds, which isn't bad. Not quite enough, but it isn't a bad sale. I'm gonna quickly pause recording here, guys. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna bore you with the journey back. I'm gonna get it back to the farm, and I will see you guys in a second. Alright, guys, just made it back. Here's our truck. Our tractor is still at the shop, and our potatoes are still no closer to being ready. We're gonna jump forward we're gonna jump forward to 4 o'clock. Hopefully that means our potatoes will be ready. Nope, still not ready. We're gonna jump forward to 4:30. Nope. How about 5? No, okay, so we're going to stop there. That's quite a lot of money it's given us. So whilst that is still growing, let's actually go to our other 6250R right here. We'll go P, let's buy that trailer. The reason why I've chosen that trailer is because it's a small trailer, it's very low. The stone picker doesn't tip that high. We'll do wide tyres because why not? And we'll go Trailborg wide. Oh yeah, some nice wide tyres, there we go. Let's switch this up. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so let's buy this. I know obviously we've got ridiculous amounts of money, but it's not really. It'll be sold pretty quick. Okay, so we'll take the 36 cubic meter one. As you can see, it doesn't stand too high. I can show you this in shop. Also, while we're here, let's buy ourselves a weight for this tractor, because it does need 300 horsepower to run this thing, and if it's going to be full of stones, it's going to be pretty heavy. As you can see, I could get out and I could stand next to it. It's not that tall. I could jump in it. That's how high it is. This basically is going to allow. I'll roll the thing onto the floor next to the field like that. This is going to allow us just to back up with a stone picker and tip the stone straight in. This is. Therefore, we'll be able to do the fields that we've done pretty much in one go, without having to constant stop and then run them somewhere, tipping them up on the floor. We'll still tip them up, but it'll be it's a lot easier to transport it once it's all in a trailer. Because the way how I would normally do this is I'd actually sit there with a telehandler and a bucket and a normal trailer, and then I would drive up. Once it was ready to unload, I would then drive up to it with the telehandler, and then I'll drive up to it with the telehandler, and then actually let's get the angle right. X, load container. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so now we have the trailer attached. Let's make our way back to the farm so we can start collecting stones on field 12 and 11. And we'll keep panning over and checking on field 14. As I'm not really going to get much money from the potatoes from what I can gather, we could sell field 14 and make some money, and we could sell field 14 and we'll make the money back on that field, which is about 300,000. But then we don't have a big field, so we can't plant a large yield of crop, of a crop of some kind, which will most likely be canola, judging by this time of the year, because on the seasonal calendar, yep, it's going to be canola. Unless, of course, we can get into September, which then we can plant wheat, barley, canola, or oats. But canola is the highest paying out of all of them. Ideally, I would actually want to leave field 14. I'd actually want to leave the fields and all the way through to April, so I can start sowing soybeans, because soybeans produce the most, have the largest profit out margin. They do. Okay, so the crops on field 11 are done. Let's just quickly check up here. Nope, still not ready. Okay, so as you can see, the course on field 11 has finished, but it's missed stuff. If I turn the course off, you can see it's missed a few bits. So it's not perfect, but it works. And now that course is saved, it will always be there for a later date. So if I then push X to unfold the plough, and we can just do these little bits just by hand, all by ourselves. Lower the plough and drive. Lift up, continue straight on. Lower the plough and continue. Haha. Okay, so if we just check these ploughing bits, okay, there's just a few bits it's missed, and then that's that. Perfect. I actually find it easier. I know obviously like you have the bigger ploughs for larger fields, but I actually find it quite easier to get, especially when I'm doing it myself, it's a lot easier to get the lines perfectly straight with a smaller plough. I find it actually ploughing a lot easier with a smaller plough than I do a big one. Oh, I don't know why I missed that strip down there, but okay, we'll find out. It's probably just something to do with the calibration of the field, really. But yeah, you can do this, like, I do it on computer, so it's like V to lift plough, B to lower, and yeah, the best thing you want to do, really, is always want at least, I would normally, if I was running this myself without course play, and not doing it as a kind of Let's Play series, I would normally do everything with one tractor. I would just have harvester, tractor, that's it. That's what I would normally do. But as we're doing this a course play series, and it means we can have multiple jobs going at once, and it's not costing money to hire a worker, and it's not going to affect the overall gameplay, I can set this up to have, so I can have more than one tractor. So I can set the 8410R, the 8R410, up to just to harvest the potatoes, and then set it to self-unload using our truck and our trailer. I can. Field 11, there's just a couple of bits that I missed, but as you can see, we've got some nice healthy field stones to get. I'm going to move the 6250R now down to fields 8 and 7 with the plough, and set that off to plough those fields. As you can see, we still have plenty of fuel, and the damage is not that severe currently. Drive that past our other 6250R. We'll set this off to plough field 7 first, as that is the larger field. Okay, so if we do same again, number of headlands 10. And perfect. So nice lovely course generated, place to start job. Let it start. Okay, now it's moving. So we do CP, we'll go to ploughing, course play, which is, I think, save course, activate. Field 7. Ooh. Ploughing. Job done. So now I can leave that to plough, and it'll just crack on with that field. No questions asked. That's just showing start and finish. And that's showing the whole course. So we can just leave that to crack on and do that. Let's see, is our potatoes ready yet? Still a big fat no on that part. But oh well. Okay, so our other 6250R with the trailer will start with field 7, not field 7, field 11, as we are here. And I can park it on the grass. It doesn't have to be on the field, it just has to be very close to it, like right next to it. So I can actually park the trailer just down here on this big wide patch of grass. If I do X to drop off container, leave the whole thing like that. Perfect. Now that trailer is at a suitable height to be tipped into. And I can just leave it like that, and then just drag it straight back up onto the trailer once it's full, and then go dump it where I want to dump it, and then carry on. So we're going to go grab our stone picker, and we're going to put it to work. I will eventually upgrade this and get the 7.1 meter stone picker. We have only got the 5 meter one that holds 2,000 litres, and the 7.1 meter wide Elho Scorpio holds 2,500 litres. But this is enough for now. 2 tons of stone is enough. The field isn't that big, and I'm setting it on self-unload, so it will do it itself with no problems. Okay, so let's open it up. Okay, so we'll do set the course. We'll do number of headlands. Let's do 10. Don't think it'll need it, but we can have a look. Oh yeah, it won't need 10. Let's do 5 and check that. There we go. We'll do 5 headlands. Good enough. We'll do smooth, up and down. Why not? Iron pipe, bypass mode circle. Keep it like that. Perfect. Space. Now that is starting. Now, if I go to here, and if I do turning on field, It doesn't set it. It doesn't allow me to set it as doesn't allow me to set it as empty itself, as a self unload. Well, I guess that was a bit of a bummer, but it's alright because it means I'll be able to snap back to it and then drive it up to the trailer and then just tip it in. Now let's check on our potatoes again. Probably still not going to be growing. Yeah, thought so. But that's it. We are now working. We have a team working, ready to go. We got some fields ready to crack on. While we're here, actually, I want to start doing some soil sampling. So, let's buy a quad bike. We're going cars. Why not? We have the ability for the John Deere XUV 865M or the Mahindra Retriever, all these pickup trucks, the Kubotas, but we're going to go for the Lizard TRA 500, which is the game's equivalent of a Honda TRX 500. We're going to do wheel setup. We'll do design 1. We'll brand Lizard. Why not? Handlebar. We'll go for design 4. Bumper 2. Design standard camouflage. I quite like the red one. Attachers, we're going to go design 1, so we put a 3-point linkage on the back. It will just do 120 kilometers an hour, so therefore that allows us to do have 75 horsepower and do 74 miles per hour. Rim colour, we'll keep all that the same, and that's £14,550. Now, if we now go into the miscellaneous tool section, we can buy ourselves an Asaria Scout, which gives us soil samples, so we know the information about our field for future working steps. So this we know what type of soils we'll get and what pH level we'll need for that soil. And we can set that off we just do that ourselves. It's not much. It's just taking a soil sample of every field that we own. So I won't have to do up here. I'll just have to do fields 11, 9, 10, 8, 7, 12 and 14. But I'll do 14 if I choose to keep it. I'll do 14 without having the crops on there, because obviously it'll damage the crops because we have crop destruction turned on. Let's switch all the way down to our little quad bike. There it is. Hitch up the Asaria Scout and let's get cracking. Oh no, don't unfold it. Don't want a little stick sticking out. I don't want the rod of it sticking out. The only reason why I chose this is because it does 74 miles an hour. It's very fast, it's very small, but it can take the Scout, which is something that I wanted. I didn't want like a little buggy that could have a tipping bed on the back. This is very small, it's very nimble, and I can just get it in all the areas that I can't get those bigger buggies. Okay, so we'll push X to unfold it, and as you can see now, if you look at the map on the bottom right hand corner, we now have a green circle sitting around our cursor. This is the soil sampler unit, like radius. If we push B, you'll see it lower to the floor. It rams the spike into the ground and takes a soil sample. We have to stay stationary for this. And then now we have a red splotch that is just showed up on the field. This is basically saying, oh, we've taken a soil sample. Now you can carry on and do the rest of the field. To get the most accurate results, it's best to cover the entirety of your land with soil samples. So then you know, because each field could have a different soil. It could have 3 different soils. It can even have all 4 different soil types. And this is the best way to do it. Just drive around, filling in the field, and you don't have to do them. You don't have to do all the fields at once. You can do one field, the field that you want to work on, and you want to start sowing. You can just go, okay, I'll take the soil sample of this. Okay, plant the crop. Then you take the other Asaria, which is the crop fertilizer scanner, and it tells you how much fertilizer you need for the crop that you want to plant. So, in my case, for April, I'd want to plant soybean. The reason why I'd actually want to only plant soybean is because soybean is that brings in the highest profitable crop. Soybean, and we're going to try some cotton harvesting as well. We're just going to keep driving around. So, and as you can see, if you look on the little helper menu at the top left, it says send soil samples for analysis by pushing Y. It'll be a different control button on a controller. And it says soil samples taken 7. So we can see how many soil samples we have taken with the soil sampler. It tells us how many soil samples we've taken. So we've taken 7 currently for field 7. We're probably going to end up taking 10. I'd say maybe 11. I could have moved over a bit more and covered it a bit better, so we'll just do that now. Let's do just here. Oh yeah, we're going to have to do it. And then field 7 is taken whilst, and I can do all this whilst the field is ploughing, or even collecting stones, as long as I just stay out of the way of the tractor so it doesn't cause it any problems. Perfect. Now do this, and now field 7 will have fully taken a sample from field 7. I can push Y now and send it off. So I have a sample of the field. I will have to do this later on, because obviously the data becomes outdated. But right now I'm going to do all the fields. I'm going to take a soil sample of all the fields, and then we're going to hop back to it. And then once I've got soil samples taken of all the fields, we're then going to send them off and wait for the analysis. As we'll keep going. And what we'll do is every now and then we'll just pan onto the map and we'll just have a look and see if field 14 is, as soon as it goes this colour, same as field 17, nice orange, golden colour, then we can send the 8410R and our Tatra Phoenix Agro truck off ready to harvest the potatoes ready for sale. I'm only using the government subsidy because obviously we have seasonal growth turned on. So therefore means we can only plant certain crops in certain seasons. Otherwise I could turn it off and then just plant soybean now and then harvest soybean the whole time and just keep planting soybean, keep planting soybean, keep planting soybean and not harvest anything else. Which we probably are going to do that, but we're going to do it based on the seasons. So that basically means whilst the soybean is growing throughout the seasons, we can buy some logging gear and get on with some logging or do some animal work and that sort of stuff. Because don't forget, we are setting it up only for 4 days. Maybe I might increase it to 7 days per season. Don't forget. Pan over, have a look. 14. Nope, still not ready. Let's increase it up over here. Whoa, okay, so we have taken so far a field, taken 16 samples so far. Can't speak today for some reason. And we're going to keep going. We're just going to increase up here, cover over the field, over this little splodge completely. Perfect. And now we'll push B, and then field 8 will be done along with field 7. And then it's just 9, 10, 11, 12 and 14. It's very quick, it's very simple, and you do cover quite a lot of the ground. So I could go up here, I could just drive up the line here and then take a sample of fields 9 and 10 together. Which I'm going to do. I'm going to park right, whoa, a bit too far. Right here, so we get the corners in. Do 9 and 10 together. Take one sample, covers both fields, there we go. Drive up again, do the exact same again, and then just drive around the fields and fill it in. I'll drive back actually, so therefore it's just like a nice little line that gets made. Yeah, that'll do. I'm going to pause the recording here, guys. I will continue doing taking the soil samples, and then once we come back, all the soil samples will be taken, and we'll send them off for analysis. Right, guys, we're back, and as you can see from the map, I have done all the soil samples except for field 14. Oh, we've hit a snag with the plough. For some reason. Okay, let's check on the potatoes. I don't think they're still haven't grown out. Nope. Okay, well that's doing that. We have, yeah, we've collected all of the soil samples for the fields that we can at right now. I don't want to drive them 14 because it'll damage the crops. So now all we do is push Y. Soil samples are now sent to the laboratory for analysis. You will see the results of the soil map, all types, on the soil type maps soon. Okay, send that off, and now we just fold the machine down for the time being, and we go park the quad up in one of the garages until field 14 has started to be harvested, because I can do it whilst it's being harvested. I just can't do it until the harvest process has started. I don't think we're going to be able to start harvesting the potatoes this episode, guys. I really don't. I'm starting to get a little bit tedious, really. Well, not tedious, but I'm starting to get a little bit impatient. And it's blocked by an object. What is it again? Ah, it's the plough, because for some reason it wants to be here. Probably because it wants to be on this line here doing. Let's just check on why this keeps going how it does. $1,030. Ah, the stone picker has finished work. $34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Okay, so it's working. Just needed to be lined up in the appropriate area. Is 14 ready? No. But that's okay. Okay, so this says it's finished. It's not, but it says it's finished. Oh, cancel that. Open X. Lower it. B, let's might as well drive over all of the areas that is missed. Just in case. You never know. There might be some stones hidden in those little areas. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Always, a little tip, always go around and actually go over the areas that your workers miss, regardless if it's a courseplay worker or general hire worker. Always go back and do those areas that they missed, because otherwise you're not going to be able to plant properly and do anything properly. You won't get a perfect yield and it'll mess up your field, really. It's just a bit tragic, really. But there you go, £2,300 taken for soil samples. Because they have been analysed. And so now if we go in the analysis map, there we go, it tells us we have some loamy sand and some sandy loam. Surely it's the same thing, but okay. Yes, we have some loamy sand and some sandy loam. across fields 11, 12, 9, 10, 8 and 7. Perfect. It also looks like we have a bit of sandy loam, loamy sand going into field 19, but we'll have a look there. And some sandy loam going into field 14, but we'll have a look when field 14 is ready to be harvestable. And obviously I don't need the light on, I've just put it on just so I can see that corner. And it looked like the plough actually didn't plough that little bit. We'll just scoop around and get this. Nice little loop. Okay, so we didn't miss any bits. It's just when in the shadows, it's just a bit in the shade. It is pretty dark, to be fair. Okay, and this here is the reason, I'm going to show you, this is the reason why I chose this trailer. So I can swing this round. I know I could have made a better job at that turn, but okay. We're going to keep the little helper menu out. I'm going to back right up to about here, there you go. I'll start overloading field stones. We'll back up just a little bit more. Push I, and now it comes to the right height. If it was up on here, it wouldn't be high enough and it'll just tip them onto the floor. This way, they're tipping into the trailer, and now that is ready to work. I can now move the stone picker to field number 12 and start work there. Is 14 ready? Yep. Okay. Well, guys, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do I'm gonna stone pick field 12 and the rest of the fields off that need to be done off camera. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that actually this video has been actually a bit informative. Oh, before we go, one thing I forgot to mention last episode is when we was harvesting, there was colours coming up on the field. This was our yield for the precision farming. It told us exactly how much percentage of yield we were getting off of that field from that crop. Ideally, you want 125%, but we was only getting roughly about 60 at the very most. But we'll find out. With the potatoes, it says we're only going to get 60% yield out of 100, so yeah. Means we're going to be 40% short, so yeah, we're not going to have as good of a yield as what we're hoping. But that's a problem for another episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.